This is the story, the fantastically true story, of Herbert A. Philbrick, who for 9 frightening years did lead 3 lives. Average citizen, high-level member of the Communist Party, and counter-spy for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. For obvious reasons, the names, dates, and places have been changed, but the story is based on fact. When a former communist testifies under oath about his party affiliation, he strikes terror into the heart of every party member. This is the story of one such witness and the efforts of the party to prevent his testimony. Your life isn't a crisis. You can be thankful for that small blessing, Philbrick. Sometimes when you can shut the Communist Party out of your mind for a few hours, it can be like this. Just a man and his work. The original romance of all time. Yes, Carol? Clay Jennings. Oh, okay, send him in. Hello. Boy, Clay Jennings, it's good to see you. Golly, it's been a long time. What you been doing?
Working, chasing the elusive buck.
Yeah, come on in, come on in. Sit down.
How's the family? The girls?
Oh, they're fine, fine.
No new additions?
Not recently.
Hey, I'm not interrupting anything. Are you busy, Herb?
No, Clay. I haven't a thing in the world to do. Something special on your mind?
Yeah. Herb, I got a subpoena, and I don't mean for driving through a traffic light. The Committee on Subversive Activity wants to ask me the $64 question.
What are you going to tell them?
That's what I want to talk to you about. What am I going to tell them? That I was a communist for about a year, I paid dues, attended cell meetings, passed out handbills during a transit strike, and I finally bilged out of the party because I couldn't dig all that dialectic double talk?
That'd be quite a speech.
Sure. And I could tell them I got a stomach full of being treated like dirt by a bunch of self-styled intellectuals who never could say anything good about this country. Could say I was a dupe and a dope to ever get sucked in.
At which point you could bare your chest for the committee and display the tattoo of the American flag.
Not a bad idea. How long does it take a tattoo to heal? Seriously, Herb, what am I going to do when they ask me to name my newest party members? This question's got to come up. Do I start with Herb Philbrick, for instance?
Well, I don't insist on top billing. But has it occurred to you, Clay, that you may have come to the wrong person to discuss this? You know, it's just possible that I could be prejudiced.
I know, Herb. And I know you. We've never discussed it before, but I always figured you got out of the party clean for the same reasons I did.
Some of the same reasons, yes.
Okay. So I don't think either one of us is subversive. Yet here we sit, and one of us is bound to get tarred with that brush. I could stand on the Fifth Amendment, and by refusing to testify, crucify myself and my family.
I know.
And if I open up to the committee, I ruin you and your family. Herb, you must have thought about this plenty. It could have been you who got the subpoena.
You're dead right. It could have been.
Okay. Then if you were in this spot, and if someone were going to ask you if you were now or had ever been a member of the Communist Party, what would you tell them?
Well, frankly, I don't know the answer either, Herb.
Luke, wonder if you'd mind getting me a glass of water with some ice in it? Thanks, Luke. I know you or the FBI can't intercede for me now. That was understood from the very beginning. You can't claim me as your boy.
No, for your own safety, we can't do that. But we're not throwing you overboard either, Herb. We're going to play this one by ear and hope we don't hit too many sour notes. Now, what can you tell me about Clay Jennings? You say he was a communist.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew Jennings. He's a member of the first communist cell I was ever in. He was a real nice guy, strictly not the party type. I think he figured that out just about the same time the party did. I never was able to figure out whether he was allowed to resign or whether he was drummed out.
But you are positive he's out?
Reasonably.
Herb, you've been walking the razor's edge so long, it's probably beginning to look like a superhighway. Well, it isn't. The price for one misstep is still the same. We don't gamble on a reasonable conviction.
Well, you're saying that I should treat Clay in this situation as though he were still a member of the Communist Party.
That's right.
But why? He came to me. Look, if he were still a communist, there wouldn't be any question about his testimony. They'd tell him what to say, he'd say it, period.
And that could be exactly what he's doing. Look, you're a big wheel in the party now, Herb, but don't lose sight of one thing.
What's that?
You've been in a lot of tight spots, but you come out every time. At least we think you have. But we could be wrong. There's always that chance.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Thanks, Lou. Grin and bear it, Philbrick. A man who walks into this kind of a spot with his eyes wide open can't complain about taking a beating.
Herb, come over here.
Comrade Rickard, one of the tough boys for the party, an enforcer. What does he want with you, Philbrick?
Somebody wants to talk to you, comrade. Get him.
My wife's got dinner ready for me. Would you mind if I went in and...
I'd mind. Get him. I think you'd better wear these. Don't worry if you can't see through them. You're not supposed to. You stand right here and keep your hands off those glasses.
Comrade Herb, nice of you to come.
My pleasure.
This is very unfair to you, I know, but necessary. Our leadership prescribed how this meeting should be conducted. Does that satisfy you?
Completely.
Good. I believe you have maintained a relationship with a former party member named Jennings, Clay Jennings.
That's correct.
Did you know that he had been subpoenaed as a witness by the Committee on Subversive Activity?
Yes, he told me this afternoon.
Did he ask your advice, comrade, about his testimony? What he should tell the committee members?
Yes. I said I'd have to sleep on it. We're going to have lunch tomorrow and explore the whole matter.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent, comrade. Then you will tell him it is your considered opinion that he should stand on the Fifth Amendment. That the committee has no authority to question him about his political affiliations, past or present.
Is that an order?
It is. Comrade Rickard will validate my right to give it.
This is from the top, Comrade Herb.
May I make a comment?
By all means.
I can't see Jennings buying that argument. He's been out of the party for some time now. He's not likely to make himself a martyr for a principle.
No, but he might martyr himself for his friend, Herb Philbrick. If he can be made to realize that by testifying, he'll ruin you.
I think he realizes that already.
Then your job is half done. Simply keep him continually aware of this fact. The point is, he must not testify. Comrade Rickard will explain the alternatives to you.
Okay, that's it. Let's go. I'll brief you on the way home. You won't need those glasses anymore. You're just about home.
This just doesn't make sense. I knew Clay Jennings when he was in the party. He doesn't know anything that hasn't been chewed over by these committees 100 times. I'll stake my life on it.
You'd lose. Let's just say Clay Jennings was looking when he shouldn't have been.
You mean he wasn't wearing those dark glasses?
Too bad he wasn't. Herb.
Yeah?
I hope your dinner isn't ruined.
Herb, your dinner's ruined.
Oh, don't worry about it, dear. My appetite was ruined a long time ago. Where are the girls? In bed? I'll run up and say hello to them after a while.
Herb, can't we talk about it? I saw them pick you up in front of the house tonight. Party men?
You remember Clay Jennings? You met his wife several times.
He's the man who quit the party. Yes, I remember. I thought the Jennings were lovely people.
Clay got a summons today. A subpoena to appear before the Subversive Activities Committee.
The party's afraid he'll name you. Is that why those men drove by for you?
No, that's not the main reason. They want me to influence Clay to refuse to testify, to take a 5, as they call it. Hide behind the Fifth Amendment. It seems for once the party's interests and mine coincide. At least things are going to be awfully bleak around here for the Philbricks if he does name me.
It had to come, didn't it?
Yeah, sooner or later.
Herb. Herb, come on out here a minute.
Hi, Jerry.
I know this is unusual, my coming here like this, but I've got some good news, and I thought you might sleep better tonight if you knew it. There wasn't time for a regular contact.
Well, yeah,
No,
but...
don't worry, Herb. I've got a man who cased the whole block before I stepped up on the porch. He's out there keeping a lookout now.
Yeah, sure. What's the good news?
Well, I had a talk with the chief counsel of the investigating committee. We reviewed the file on Jennings. It won't hurt the investigation a bit to drop Jennings as a witness.
Golly, I'm afraid I've got some news for you.
Yeah?
There's something missing in Jennings' file. I don't know what it is, but the comrades are desperately anxious to keep it covered up. I'm afraid that he's got to take that stand when his name is called. I've been ordered to keep him from talking at any cost.
Do you know what you're saying, Herb? You're putting your neck right back in the noose.
Yeah, I know it. But there's no other way to make him talk. Let the chips and Philbricks fall where they may. He's got to take that stand.
Good enough. We'll do everything we can to see that you don't get too bruised.
You heard. I know how you must feel, darling. The door was wide open and I slammed it shut. Eva, I didn't go into this kind of life because I was looking for adventure. If anything I've ever done has any meaning, believe me, this has. But look, Mrs. Philbrick, you're still a major shareholder in this corporation. You've got to vote. If you think I'm wrong, say so.
I only want you to tell me one thing, Herb.
Sure, if I can.
Is it worth it?
I like to think so, Mrs. Philbrick.
Herb, I begin to worry about you.
Hiya, Clay. Sorry I'm late. I had to make a few calls between here and the office. Took longer than I thought. Have you ordered?
I'm not especially hungry, to tell the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that feeling. Well, you gotta eat sometime. What do you say we just have a tureen soup, huh?
Maybe you won't want even a bowl of soup when I tell you what I have to.
Go ahead, Doctor. Make the incision. I'm braced and ready.
And to talk this over with my wife, Herb. You understand, don't you? I guess you might say she made the decision for me. I'm going to cooperate with the committee.
Comrade Rickard on the job. Who calls the next move?
I'm waiting, Herb.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know, but something. You can't just sit there and watch your future go down the drain and make no comment.
I don't think there's room for any comment. You said your wife had made up your mind for you.
You think this is a coward's way out?
No. No, I think she has as much of a stake in this as any of us.
Pardon me, Herb. I got a telephone call.
What's it going to be? Can you convince him our way?
Not a chance. His wife's in the picture. She's persuaded him to be a cooperative witness.
Doesn't he have anything to say about that?
Are you married, comrade?
Okay. Then you know what to tell him.
Sure. The high-pressure line, comrade, and it better be good or somebody could get the impression Philbrick wants Clay Jennings to be a cooperative witness. Mr. Clay Jennings, for instance, if this is a trap and Clay is reporting every word you say to him back to the party.
That's a funny shake. I got to the phone and there was nobody on the line.
You didn't have a call, Clay. That was a trick.
A trick?
Yeah, while you were gone, a character I've never seen before came over at the table. He said he had a message he wanted me to give you.
Comrade, eh?
That'd be my guess. He was very much to the point. He said the party'd make it worth your while if you'd take a 5, or even duck the subpoena altogether. He suggested an extended vacation in Canada, or maybe in Mexico if you don't like winter sports. He suggested that the alternatives might be rather unpleasant to face.
I get it now. I've been a sucker, haven't I?
What do you mean?
Don't give me that look of innocence, comrade. This was all arranged. You got here late because you had to set up that phony call. You had to squirm into position to give me a line about a man you never saw before. You're still one of them. It's written all over your face.
Are you finished or just temporarily out of breath?
Almost. For a finish, I'd like to see you look me in the eye and say you're not a communist.
I'm not a communist.
I forgot. I forgot how well they teach a man to lie.
Well, Philbrick, does that answer one of your questions? Is Clay still a communist? Is he baiting you into a trap? If he is, the bait just fell off the hook. If there's an answer to this whole thing, here's where you'll find it, Philbrick. Your secret room. Here we are. The file on the Madison Street cell. Everything Clay Jennings ever knew about the Communist Party happened in that cell. This is the record, Philbrick. Somewhere in here, there has to be a key. A key to what the communists are afraid Clay might blurt out under questioning by the committee. Cell members. James Eden, physicist. Deceased. Obituary notice. James Eden. James Eden, prominent physicist, was a victim of a freak motoring accident here last night. The body, although mutilated, was identified by a longtime friend of the deceased. It could be, Philbrick. It could just be you've got something. Right on the second.
Hello? Herb? You were right about that identifying party. Good hunch.
Ricard Logan?
Yeah, Ricard Logan.
So Comrade Rickard identified James Eden's body. It figures, Philbrick. The guy in that chair. James Eden. It's got to be.
There's no reason in the world why I can't deliver your message to our comrade.
Just the best reason in the world, that's all. I insist on delivering it in person. He felt it important to give me my orders in person. He should feel the same way about my report.
Okay. You're getting it your way.
Left wing. Our boy turning your way on North Avenue. Intercept.
Left wing, roger.
Right wing, stand by for crossover.
Have our boy on North Avenue, proceeding at 38 miles per hour. Over.
Good. Crossover executed. Give us your position by 100 block.
Just entering 900.
Okay, both wings will close. Keep reading your position until we're in line with you.
Entering 1100 block. Speed still 38 miles per hour.
We're in position on your right wing now. How's the left wing?
Left wing closing fast. Midway in 1000 block.
Good. Over.
Well, Philbrick, your gamble had better pay off. The man in the chair had better be James Eden.
We will have your report, comrade.
I brought a counter proposition from Clay Jennings. He says he's willing to forget his recent encounter with James Eden for a price.
He must be off his trolley. James Eden's dead. I ought to know. I identified the body.
He says you're wrong, comrade.
That's blackmail.
Jennings says it's compensation for throwing his whole future away in front of that committee.
I told you to assure him the party would look after his future.
He says he prefers to take his assurance in the form of hard cash. What answer shall I give him?
Let me answer him. I'll make him wish he never saw you.
Shut up, comrade. Comrade Herb, you may inform Jennings that he will receive his money after he has testified.
Good enough.
Come on, let's go.
Caught you red-handed, didn't I?
Looks like it.
Can I fix you anything before I go to bed?
Thank you, Mrs. Philbrick, but I think I'm completely capable of constructing a sandwich.
That's what I was afraid of. That roast is supposed to last till tomorrow.
Herb, it's Jerry.
Hi.
Just thought you'd like to know we've got a make on your friend Eden. We followed him from that house they took you to. He's got a very important job. Calls himself Hayes. Got a new background that goes clear back to a birth certificate.
Wow. You gonna pick him up?
Well, not right away. Now, he didn't change his identity and land this important job without some inside help. We're gonna follow your Mr. Eden, or rather Mr. Hayes, for a while. Maybe he'll lead us to the people responsible for him. There's one thing that's certain. He'll never make another false step.
Hey, that's the front door.
Good night, Herb. And thanks for identifying Eden. He won't squirm out from under it, I assure you.
Eva? Who is it?
Clay Jennings.
Bring him on back.
That's just what I was doing.
Hi, Herb. Surprised to see me here again, aren't you?
Yeah, I bet.
Well, fact is, I just couldn't seem to sleep on what I want to tell you.
Well, get it off your chest. Though I thought you covered it rather thoroughly this noon. Come on, sit down.
No more of that, Herb. That's what I want to tell you. I've been thinking about how I popped off at you. I was away out in left field, and I'm sorry. I don't believe a word of what I said. I know better. Things are just crowding me, that's all.
I know, Clay. Come on. Have a sandwich with us.
Then you're not sore?
Not unless you fail to appreciate my wife's cooking.
Incidentally, Herb, I got a wire late this afternoon from the committee. They're dropping that matter, so I guess it was just a big uproar over nothing.
That's right, Clay. It was just nothing at all. Notice buried in the files and forgotten proved the key to the identity of a well-hidden communist and rendered him completely useless to the party. Next week, we'll bring you another story from the files of Herbert A. Philbrick, citizen, communist, counter-spy.